Babb back at you with the BingeWorthy podcast. I'm here with my beautiful hosts, Johnny Randolph, Trey Murphy,
Hey.
Courtney Wright.
Hello.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, everyone? Everybody ready? Day after the big day. Everybody has a lot of energy, I hope. Everybody stayed up too late last night. We're going to talk about the Blood of Zeus. The Blood of Zeus, Netflix original story, brought to you by Charlie Palapinidis and his brother Vlas Palapinidis. They seem like they're Greek. I hope they're Greek.
It sounds Greek.
It does sound Greek. It's supposed to be a Netflix anime, but it's not Japanese. So I feel some type of way about that. Disclaimer, I used to be an employee at Netflix and I used to be the creative producer for Global Anime. So I feel a certain way about this being labeled as anime versus just Netflix animation.
Okay. We'll talk about with that being said, how did you feel about that art style then?
Art style, I did like the art style. That reminded me of like super modern Japanese anime. And they did a couple of scenes that I thought was very anime-like, but there's a lot of visual language that wasn't there. Like anime's been around. Anime has over 200 years of visual language from the art of Japanese art that translates in like teardrops and teardrops in the front of the head, behind the head. All that's visual language. And this had none of that. None of that. They didn't go into chibi style. They didn't poke fun at each other. It was so serious. Like, we're just going to go so serious. It was kind of Sony Santa Monica decided to do a Greek tale and just cut Kratos out of the whole entire thing. That's how I felt.
Okay.
I liked the art style
for the Kratos.
The first two episodes, I had a problem with the animation. I think the animation was good in the first two episodes, and I thought there was a lot of exposition. But I think episode 3, I think that's when they got that Netflix money. You can see the spending in the animation. Like you saw really, really good animation, Avatar level animation. But for me, that's not anime. Anime, what makes anime so great is they're great storytellers that cheat animation. For example, Evangelion in the first episode, the last 2 minutes of the whole entire anime is a still frame for like 2 minutes, and it's just crickets in the background. You just hear crickets in the background, and I'm like, that's how you cheat an animation to tell a story, and it's impactful. It's about two people that feel very lonely, that thought they lost each other, and the boy decided to stay and go through this experiment with them. And it's just 2 minutes of silence and the crickets in the background. And I thought that was beautiful. So anime, the frame rates vary from anywhere from 60 frames a second when they have money down to like 12 frames a second. So you can tell the difference in 12 frames. So you can tell the difference in anime. But this is consistently 30 frames a second. And sometimes it goes up to 60 frames in some of the scenes. And I'm like, that's not anime style. Anime plays with that stuff. But that's just let me step away off my soapbox on that. What do y'all think of the Blood of Zeus? Let's start with what we know about Zeus and how he posed as
what we know about Zeus and the story we got. Go ahead.
I think that is a good place to start. Let's have that conversation about the original mythos, the original story, and what we were presented.
Yep.
Well, I didn't think there was anything like to me as I watched this, because I'm a big Greek mythology fan, right? I've read all the stories, the Odyssey, the Iliad. I love any of those Greek, Roman era type of films, Gladiator, Troy, whatever. I enjoy that. But with this, I felt like we got a hodgepodge of every pop culture story that ever was, right? Like I felt we got a little bit of the Odyssey. I felt we got the Iliad. I felt we got some Star Wars. I felt like we got Avengers. It was almost to me like a Wayne's brother comedy, but they were serious about it. And it took away from, like, to me, the quality of it. Because if we start like with Zeus, and interject real quickly. Like, to me, he was the worst. He was a rapist. He was weak. He was ineffective. It was like this guy was not somebody that I would see as the God of all gods. And I'll leave it right there and let you guys jump in.
Let me tag in on to start. I, like you, Randy, I am a huge lover of Greek mythology. It is one of my favorite, like, just stories, historic stories to follow, and the characters, the villains, what have you. I don't even know if what you said about you saw like the Odyssey and the Iliad. Like, I didn't see any of that. I saw them taking like an idea, the names of the characters from Greek mythology, and then bastardizing it and just turning it into something that was like half like vampire movie. And I'm like, I ain't never heard of no vampires and demons in Greek mythology. They have chimera, they have harpies, they have Nemean lions. You know what I'm saying? They got Medusa. So you got a plethora of actual Greek villains and characters to pull from, and you gonna create some zombie vampires? So that for me was
they were warriors
it was
too.
Interesting. They were what?
They were warriors too.
And they were warriors. I mean, that I know we're gonna get into story, but I was just tagging on what Randy said. But in terms of Zeus, I actually didn't hate Zeus. I hate what they did with him. Like, I didn't think he was a deadbeat dad. He legit was there from the moment this kid was like conceived. And when he showed up like an old man, Zeus ain't never showed up for any of his kids ever. And this dude was there for like the first day of school. This dude was there to like wrap up a bandaged arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, the bullies was after him, and he was like, he had a pep talk ready. Like, he was always there. I'm like, don't you have a job? Like, why
aren't you a god? Aren't you the god of Olympus?
That's what between all of Zeus's hoes and his kids, how did he have time to run a universe? Between all his hoes and his kids, how did he have time to run a universe, right?
And taking care of this home kid that's just like, oh, you the only one I got.
Yep.
Okay, that was my main problem. But he did his best. Like, you know what I'm saying? I felt bad for Zeus, other than like the stupid stuff that we'll get into later.
Here.
No, I'm not itchy. I agree with all that. I do agree with all that. That, I'm not as adept with the storyline regarding the original tales and the mythos of Greek mythology as well versed as you are. But I know a hood ass dude when I see one, and that's Zeus.
Right.
I know Zeus.
Yes,
I know about 3 or 4 different Zeus, and it's this dude. Here's my problem with the Blood of Zeus, and it's that I don't give a damn about none of the other characters except Heron and Zeus. Them are the only 2. Everybody else can go kick rocks. I could care less because I wanted to hear the baby mama story. I got this baby mama. I got 2 kids that ain't mine. I'm trying to be a good daddy, but my little thing on the side's trying to find out. But she's all on my back, and Heron was like, "Yo." Hera was like, yo, don't disrespect me in front of my people. If you're gonna go and run around and do your thing, don't disrespect me. And Zeus was like, nah, I'm gonna do me, because this is I'm gonna do me. And she said, today's the day, it ain't gonna happen no more. And that's all I saw. I saw a hood tale because I've seen this. I've seen my homeboy have this fight with his lady, with his son sitting right next to him. I've seen this a million times. So all these other people, to me, was just a waste of time, man. I didn't care about Hermes.
So you wanted a Tyler Perry movie. You saw
that's all it is. That is just an animated Tyler Perry movie that just happened to have somebody's baby daddy that can throw thunderbolts.
But I was mad at Hera. You gonna tell me that Hera's gonna invest all this time and energy over some broke ass human girl? Really? You gonna tear
That's why
down
she was like, I'm about to snap her up.
The whole community though. Like, you gonna tear down Olympus over this broad who don't mean not like for real though?
I mean,
Courtney, you can't tell me you don't know that girl. You know that girl. Every dude in here knows that girl.
I'm just saying.
That girl that's like, I'll burn this whole house down.
Oh,
and let's talk about Zeus. Like, when he first meets her, he's a peeping Tom.
Well, he's Zeus being Zeus.
Yeah,
He's
Zeus is a
being
peeping
Zeus.
Tom, right? He disguises himself as an ego. He disguises himself as an ego and is watching a girl take a bath. And then he changes himself into her husband and comes to her. That's rape. I'm sorry. It's deceit. It's rape. Now she falls in love with him. So it might be cool.
I knew for a while. But
I knew for a while. After a while, Johnny, it wasn't rape no more.
Right, you come
after a while it wasn't. But why couldn't he come to her really first?
Because he goes to women as geese and ducks and beavers and rape them.
And then he gets her pregnant and leaves her there to have the baby until the baby is born, which that scene is ridiculous about them distinguishing between the twins. And then he takes her, like Trey said, to the hood and covers it and makes everything dark. His son is growing up with no sandals on, and then he shows up randomly to give him jewels. He's the worst.
No, but he was there though. He's better than any hood dad. He's there for birthdays. He's there for the first fight.
That's it.
He's there to teach him how to do chores, not to talk back to his mama.
But like, let's go back to like her just acknowledging. I've known that wasn't you for a long time. I know that you're not my husband, because like he'll come in and be like, "Oh yeah, you pretty. I brought you some flowers, girl. You look good today." And then her husband come in like slap her around like, "Bitch, lay down.
Lay on the bed. You know lay on the bed and take
off your clothes.
So
take off your clothes.
She gonna come up with a knife. Yeah, take off your clothes. She gonna come in with a knife. I know you're not my husband, but I love you. I'm like, what? Okay, that's a problem.
Hey, we know that girl. We know that girl.
Now you know
that girl. You know these people, man. These are hood tales. These are hood tales. You know that girl.
And I'm sorry, like she's banging the god of the gods, and all she got was a hood village in the dark. Yeah, like to me, she's banging the god of gods, and all she could get out was the village.
Harold was like, no. When Apollo
she couldn't get anything more. Like that was.
When Apollo came down, I was like, yo, he came down like, yo, Sarah's on the road. She's out here looking for you. She knows you.
She looking for you. She watching. She watching. I got get on up out here.
It's like, yo, the block is hot, Zeus.
Yeah, Apollo was damn.
Have to clean this up.
Apollo was so damn.
Here's another thing. Like, I had a problem with the fact that there was a huge male presence of gods, and the only female was Hera, the one who was angry. Like I'm pretty sure we saw Athena. We saw Artemis, we saw Aphrodite. I think we even saw Hestia, but not one of them uttered a word. We had Apollo, we had Hermes, we had Hephaestus, and they had the nerve to make Hephaestus not Hera's son. They just decided we're just gonna rewrite history and say that like Hephaestus is some like half-breed bastard that Hera doesn't claim, and so it's like the bastards versus the firstborns. And I'm like, is this Game of Thrones? Battle of the Bastards? What is this?
But it seemed like they took everything. They had part of Star Wars in there. They had part of Harry Potter. They had part of what's his name, King Arthur in them. It's like they took a hodgepodge of almost every mythology. And when did Ares start having a hammer? I've never seen that. So all of a sudden he's Thor now. So it's just like they took everything. It should have been a Wayne's brother comedy, but they were trying to be serious about it. Yeah, it was.
Let's talk about that. Okay, so they mixed all these characters in, and they did give us tales. Like when Heron threw the sword into the stone, I was like,
right.
Yeah, that hit me. I was like,
why would you go that route?
Yeah, try to change it up a little bit. Don't insult me that much.
Yeah, he just left it there, like, fuck it. I don't need this super powerful sword wielded by the gods. I climbed this mountain, got this god stone, and I found out this man's my dad because he gave me a super powerful sword. And I'm mad. A sword that can kill the gods, kill titans.
Right. And then when he was getting his training. Yeah, when he was getting his training and the fates were telling him, oh, your friends are going to be captured and killed. It sounded just like Yoda talking to Luke Skywalker to me. It was like, I got to get back and save my friends. And he's like, no, you're not ready yet.
Because he got to go and help everybody.
Right. You're not ready, but they're going to die without me. So he leaves and he's unprepared when he gets there. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like some originality here.
Story. let's dive into the story because the story needs to be talked about. Right now, we're jumping around. Let's actually talk about the story from the beginning. When I first met Heron and he was dealing with the Amazonian, I forgot her name.
Alexia.
Alexia, yeah. When he was dealing with her, I said, "Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good." The animation's kind of whack, but this is gonna be really good.
Mhm.
Can we talk about first, real quick, before you get in? Alexia is an Amazonian.
Yeah, Amazonian.
An Amazonian traveling with males. Okay,
Mm.
she's an Amazonian by nature. She should have had an army of women.
She would have had an army of women.
Right.
I guess they killed them, right?
That's true. That is
Badass
true.
That's true. Yeah. She wouldn't have had no male guards with her whatsoever.
She would have had no male guards. She's an Amazon.
Guards.
I didn't, for the longest time, I thought she was just like some Roman soldier, Roman princess out there roaming the streets. Like, you know, I'm up in this mix right here. Like, I'm trying to save the world. I was like, wait a minute, you're an Amazon? You're an Amazon raised by Chiron, and you're telling me you got male friends? Where they come from? Like, you're Amazon. You're like a Wonder Woman, and you rolling with these dudes? Come on.
Weak dudes, normal dudes, basic dudes.
Chumps.
They just basic.
Chumps.
And where'd she even get them from? They didn't last half the first pilot.
They didn't last the pilot. Now, we didn't know she was Amazon until Seraphim calls it out, the brother. And Seraphim is a pretty badass character. I liked him as a character.
First of all, Seraphim. Now we got angels.
Yeah, it's true. I thought that too.
Seraphim is an angelic name. Why is his name Seraphim?
I don't know. They don't.
And then the centaurs they made so weak. Like the centaur sold out real quick. Like he
I had to save my people
in him whatsoever.
I gotta save my people, man. You know how this
like
is.
centaurs trained Hercules.
Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're getting ahead of you're in episode 4 or 5 right now. We gotta go back to episode 1, 2, and 3. Let's go back, guys. Let's go back. The listeners are not getting all this. They're like, what the hell is this thing?
Yeah, we just mad. We just all over the place.
Don't be so mad. Because it is a pretty anime. It is a pretty cartoon. And let's talk about the story. Like at the very beginning, the setup I thought was really good because they had these demon creatures. That's very anime-like because anime takes Christianity and all kinds of religions and cultures and flip them.
They took all the characters from Godzilla. They had Rodan. They had
They sure did. They sure did.
They did. But that's
Mothra. They had all of them in there.
Exactly.
That is very anime-like. When they made the monsters, like they'll take this Greek tale and just flip it. Like they'll just flip it all the way over into something like very bastardly Japanesey. And they did this, but they're not Japanese influence. I was like, whoa, this is kind of weird. But let's talk about that. So they fight the Titans, massacre the Titans, and with the blood of the Titans, monsters are formed.
The giants.
And they made all these giants. How'd y'all feel about the giants being there?
I felt it was stupid.
I thought it was cool in the beginning if they let them dead. They allowed them just to die.
Why not just fight the Titans then? Like, I didn't understand why we needed to introduce the giants.
The Titans,
right, but that could have been
why there was so many.
That could have been the whole thing to me. It's like the war between the Olympians and the Titans, and that's based in genuine Greek mythology. And that could have been
trying to make it Japanesey. Not Japanese.
Yeah,
Japanese.
but I mean, I'm with Randy because it's like the giants were actually they came from Gaia. Like I see, there's so many problems. It's just
they came from
Gaia.
The spilling of Gaia's blood. Yes, Gaia's blood spilled into the ocean and made the giants.
Yeah, I just didn't get why they
we're gonna
needed
kick their asses now. You just watch your mama die.
But here's the thing: why they gotta be cannibals? Let's talk about the giants. So, like the human Seraphim, he had a hard road. Like mama left him. You know, she took the brother, and Zeus dipped out. Was like, he gonna be all right. And then
he's
not okay because like the little slave woman had to like save him. Like uncle threw him off the cliff. He a little baby. He didn't fell 99 feet and survived somehow. Little baby survived. He didn't bounced off all them rocks.
Yeah.
And then the servant saves him. He has Tarzan life. You know what I'm saying? Raised by bears. Or he's Mowgli. He's Mowgli. He had
Baloo. By bears. He is
watching
Mowgli.
Over him.
Oh, they did put Mowgli in there.
You know what I'm saying?
But the Mama Bear was Zeus.
Yeah, which Zeus sent.
Right.
Ooh, we found that out later on Cliffhanger.
Baru was Zeus.
But Zeus wants credit for that. He's like, shit, you was gonna die from hunger, and I came and saved you. Zeus wants credit for every little thing he does.
I gave you some bear titty. Why are you so mad at me?
Right. I gave you bear tit.
You see, he having a hard time. You see, he out here in these streets, up in the woods, living on berries.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Zeus is the worst, man. Right.
But Zeus is like, that's not my baby. That's not even my baby.
He been smashing the mama for decades.
Like, my bad.
And he can't be like, your son out here struggling, so I'm gonna help you out with your son. Zeus is that dude. He don't do anything, but he show it with Jordans.
He helped with his baby, but then helped the other baby.
Right. So then, cut back to Seraphim. Seraphim has now, he been beat up. His fake mama been killed in front of him. He's struggling with like what's happening with life, just angry. And next thing you know, he comes across a dead giant carcass. Which why is it still there?
Because they live forever, I guess. I don't know.
No. The carcass. No. The giant is dead.
I know.
But why is the carcass still there?
Giants
Who left that there?
Who knows?
Who left that?
And wouldn't the Greeks been looking?
Like,
wouldn't the Olympians been looking for that?
No, they just weren't looking for it. The giant
but I'm saying, like, because you can eat the carcass and then turn into these zombies. Like, doesn't the Olympians know that there's some aftermath, like from leaving carcasses around that can empower people?
Right, you're trying to hide from the humans. You don't want them to know you're around, but we're gonna leave this giant carcass of a monster on the beach. Like Poseidon.
It was in a cave. It was in a cave.
It wasn't in no cave. It was on the beach.
It was in the cave on the beach, but it was in the cave. They hid it somewhat.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, who just decided
they hid it in the cave where bears go?
He just gonna decide I'm gonna eat some giant and like I'm okay with this.
Because he just killed his fake mama's killer. You remember he killed his fake mama's killer when he ran off. He went in the city. He's like, oh yeah, I kill. He's up here trying to get some nookie on the side of the wall. I go over to him and I kill him, and then the guards see him and everybody's chasing me, and I jump off the cliff.
And they decide, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and join this dude. It's so many problems. And can we talk about what Seraphim now he's demonized. Now he's become demon dude.
Yep.
Where did he get a manicore? Because that's not even Greek. That's his race.
Is that what that thing is called?
Like
manicore, yes, a manicore.
It's Persian. This fool riding around on a manicore.
I told you. Hey, that's another storyline they threw in there.
That's his whip. Y'all mad at his whip? That man got the 4.0.
He got the manicore. What's wrong with having a manicore?
Man, y'all missing them.
What other animal?
I'm missing that moment when Zeus got done slaying one of the slaying one of the monsters, and he looks at Hera and he gives that wink like, man, baby, I got this. Watch this.
Yeah,
throws him up, grabs his lady, flies off in the sky, and she looks back at him like, you my man. I was like, it's my dog. That's when I knew the relationship was real. That's when the relationship was real. I was like, the wink. It was the wink. The wink was like, oh,
because Zeus is side eye.
That's his main chick.
Yeah, Zeus had great side eye.
And his side eye were killing me. He was like,
no, when he gave him the side eye, when Poseidon was like, I don't know. I think it's foolish to get her upset. He's like, really? It's three brothers here. We dominate the whole entire universe. And you worried about my chick right now?
Hera was queen of the gods, and she did have lightning bolts in Greek mythology. And then Zeus comes along and gets it.
She's also a Titan. Let's be honest. Like, there's only four of them. There's Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, and Hera. Those are the four that were born of Kronos and Rhea.
Yes.
So,
and
you know what I'm saying?
they are all older than her. Zeus is the youngest. And Kronos was he ate them, and then he threw them all up with the rock.
Ate them. And Zeus and Rhea, she hid Zeus in the cave and like let him grow up and what have you. And then he came back, battled Kronos, cut out his brother and all his brothers and sister from the stomach of Kronos, and then they came back and dominated the Titans.
And then they split up the world between them all.
So she's nothing to slouch on. Don't ever
Right.
get it twisted.
Yeah.
Kira
Right.
is.
But
she
you know,
is the
I don't think she came off as soft. I don't think there's ever a
didn't.
moment
No,
where
no,
she
was tough.
came off
She
soft. She
came
was
hard.
tough through the whole
And she
series.
had some
I mean,
validity because she was like,
Yeah.
you an old ass man out there fucking these young girls, and everybody on Olympus is laughing at your old ass.
And that right there is the bottom line of all of it, right there. And I felt her. I felt that pain. I was like, "You
No,
right,
she was
girl.
bad.
Shoot,
I'm over
this
you
dude
out
is
here.
the worst.
You going? You
Oh, bust him up. Punch him in his mouth.
When she looked at Hermes, she looked at Hermes, and he walked by her. She said, "Another one of his bastards. Another one of his bastards.
Well, another one. And Hermes
Another
was
one.
like, "What I do?"
What I do?
Hermes was like,
He just walked right by her. He's another one of his bastards." She was not having it, boy. She was
like, you know what I'm about.
And he was,
You
and he
know
was
what
talking
I'm
about
about.
her. Yeah, and he was talking about Hercules and Perseus. So like he's got like 5 or 6 kids that are known out there that are outside the marriage.
Perseus isn't even his kid. Is it?
I thought Perseus was yeah, he's Zeus's son.
Was he Zeus's
Yeah, I
son?
thought he's a demigod. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a demigod. Yes.
Yeah,
I
he's
just didn't-
Zeus.
I wasn't sure if he was
Yeah,
son
he's-
of Zeus or
yeah,
son of.
he's-
Okay, let's get back
Because
on
when
this
his mother
story,
was locked in
guys.
yeah.
We're way off
Okay.
the story here. We're way off
You're
the
right.
story.
You're right.
We're way off the story. Let's get back. It's not Greek mythology time. This is Blood of Zeus.
It's called
We're
the
talking
Blood of Zeus. What are you talking about? It's not Greek mythology. It's literally
Exactly.
called
Just
the
call
Blood
it-
of
it
Zeus.
just
We
be
just
called
said this was
blood.
an original Greek
It's
mythology.
gangster.
It's
It should just be
anime.
called
It's-
blood. Crips and blood.
Okay, first of all, let me talk about that for a second. The title, Blood of Zeus. Zeus doesn't have blood. He has ichor.
He has
Okay.
ichor. He does have
He
ichor.
has ichor. He don't have blood. Why he bleeding red?
It's supposed to
I'm
be
so
golden
mad.
His
sapphire.
beard gray. He's the god
What?
of gods.
Cause he wants like an old man. Maybe he wants to age a little bit when he's chasing these young girls. These girls are like 500 years younger than him.
Well, he didn't think anybody would notice
All
his
right.
unassuming old man. You know,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
unassuming old man
Okay.
roaming the streets
Yeah.
with a staff and a bandage on his arm. He don't think nobody gonna like
Who's
him.
always
You know what I'm saying?
drunk?
He
Who's
doesn't have
always
everybody
drunk?
look at him.
Who's always drunk? They're like, "You drunk again, old man." He's like, "Yeah, I'm drunk." Like, you
But
gotta get
always
everybody
comes with
killed.
this.
Monsters are stampeding the village, and you drunk in a ditch somewhere with a broken leg.
And
It
some
was
fish.
Zeus. And some
He always
fish.
had a meal for them so they can make some stew.
Yep. Look at him. Look, he gave to his child. He took care of him. He paid that
But
child
I
support.
think that's what
Popped
was
up now and then and popped his
problem.
mom. Yeah, that was it. If he
Her
didn't care
problem
about that
was
child,
not that he was out there in them streets like sleeping with all these different women. You decided to move in like you hurt, like that's your wife, like that's your
Yeah.
kid.
You play house.
showing up for the
He didn't play
birthday.
house.
You showing up for the broken legs. You showing
Yeah.
up for all this stuff. And he talking about, I love her. And Apollos even says to her, like, yo, he's never acted like this about anybody. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Because you can't just be showing up for this like hussy that you just
Paulo's
didn't
looking
get
out
in
for
with.
my man, though.
Yeah.
Stop messing with
Paulo-
them neighborhood girls. Got him a good chick that treat him
I
right.
don't know. Apollo's kind of a cool dude. I mean, he brought him
He-
up to Mount
he was cool.
Olympus. He controls the sun. You know, he rides his chariot across. So Apollo being Zeus's dad kind of worked out for him. So
No, but I
don't
mean, Apollo, he came through. Like I
Yeah.
respected Apollo and
Yeah.
Hermes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like they stood by their dad. They did what they had to do. And Hephaestus, no matter what they decided to claim his parentage was.
Hephaestus
But-
was not loved by Zeus and Hera. They
No,
did not like because he was born
Well, we
handicapped.
don't want to get into Greek mythology. you
Okay,
know,
yeah,
so-
okay.
Yeah.
But you know,
We can't
but
get into
even-
mythology. This is
even
Japanese.
Hephaestus, like rolling with the owl. The owl is the animal of Athena.
Yeah.
Okay, why he rolling with the owl from like Clash of Titans?
I was
That's
gonna
what
say
I
the
thought.
Clash
I
of
was like,
Titans
isn't it
out.
the Clash of the Titans out? Yeah.
That is the
That's
Clash of
another,
Titans out.
yeah, it's another trope that
Yeah.
they threw in there, man. So what we got? Star Wars, we got King Arthur,
We got Clash of the
We got-
Titans.
the Titans.
We got a
got the
Wayans
We got
comedy
Star
show in
Wars.
there.
Yeah.
We got Tyler Perry.
Yeah.
Good shit.
You
But,
know,
I
we
mean,
got
let's-
DMX from like Belly in there.
And
They got
then
Gladiator. They
we
got the
had,
black dudes taking them. Well, we
They
didn't get
sure
one too
do
far.
got Gladiator in
They
there.
got Gladiator, the black dude and the white dude taking them to be slaves in the gladiator pits.
Anameus. We got
Yeah.
Anameus from Spartacus.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
for
The kids,
not
yeah.
mess.
So
And
right.
how y'all not like this again? This sounds amazing. What y'all just pitched to
God.
me sounds great. How'd y'all not like that? How'd y'all not like that?
Well,
How's
here's
that- how's
the
how's that
problem.
sound bad to
is
y'all?
that like it felt to me like number one, your hero Heron was unlikable.
His
No,
name
I
is
didn't
Heron.
care about him
His
at
name is
all.
Heron.
At all.
Heron, that's
And
what I
Did
said.
anybody
Heron,
care
like the
about him?
fish.
And he didn't seem competent
or the
in
bird.
anything.
He could shoot them arrows though. He could shoot those arrows.
Man.
All I saw him was
Yeah,
take
we already
L
got
after
somebody who
L
does that.
after L.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
mad because like here's this kid. He's literally Zeus has literally been the best dad to you that you honestly could have asked for. Honestly, he showed up for everything. He didn't show up for none of his other kids. And you rolling around with a temper tantrum like, I don't like you. I don't want your sword. Forget you. You done
No,
left this sword
and
for like
then
9,
and
8
then when his
episodes.
brother came to him, he was like, "Look, I know he treated you like shit. He treated me like shit. Look what he made me do to Mama. Let's go get them all." And he was like, "No, I'm going to defend my dad."
I know, right? I know.
I was like,
Right.
I thought it was gonna be the plot twist. Like, oh my god, this is gonna be dope. The two human characters are gonna fight the gods. This is about to be dope. And I was like, really? You didn't roll with your brother? Your brother's like, look. He's like, I can change you back. And his brother looked at him like, you think I want to change back? I'm a beast in this form. I use Hades, Bident, and I'm a beast in this form.
Yeah,
Why
can we
would I
talk about that? Because that was a problem for me. I was like, where's Hades? Throughout this whole series, I'm like, you mean to tell me
He was
Hades
cleaning
has
up
offered
Hades for the other
everybody
gods.
free passage to the underworld to come and hang out? Because if they don't like what's going on, come and hang out in the underworld, like it's the club. And
Because it was the club.
we don't see him.
Right.
We don't see him until the very end. How did old dude number one get Hades Biden? How did we? So Hades was like puppeteering him the whole time. Hades was the one that led him to like the giant carcass.
Hades killed that monster and then knocked it into the cave. That's what happened. So in the beginning,
that's what I'm thinking. But they don't say that.
Yeah,
they don't say it. I think that's how it's implied.
Do it. Yeah, it's just implied. They did it. So it shows when Hades is fighting, he actually throws the Biden out and it hits that monster and pushes him into the cave off the beach. Yeah, so that's what the monster
I missed all that.
Courtney,
he just
correct
left
me.
it right.
Well,
When did Hermes start taking the souls to Hades?
Right.
I never read. I was like, what fucking sense
I didn't know
does it
anything
make?
about the bag, the soul bag.
Yeah, I never heard about shit like that. I was like, when did Hermes start doing that?
Japanesey. That's Japanesey. Let it go. Let it go. These some Greek men making a Japanesey type of cartoon. And he's like, what can we make different? I will make Hermes the messenger of the souls.
That's never been, right?
Never
That's Japanesey. I'm gonna check y'all every time. That's Japanesey. Japanese would have done that, and it makes total sense. It had been probably done with some hilarity done in it somehow. Like he
rolling around with the Flash's helmet on.
I did like the Boatman.
Original Flash's helmet.
Yeah,
the old school one. I thought the Boatman looked pretty dope, though. He was the boat. He wasn't really human. He was like the weird arm things. He looked kind of.
He was.
I don't know what it was, but it was.
Like
it was
the
just
boat was his body.
And that is true to like
props on that.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool
the coins.
Scene.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I thought that was a really cool scene to see the souls that were waiting on the shores that didn't have
anybody
enough money to pay the ferry
to
pay the ferry price.
Yeah.
And we saw Zeus's the old man put the coins on her eyes so that she would have them. Like that's a thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I love the fact when we got to Hades, they showed the different versions of Hades, which one you can go to.
Yeah, because
which one you
Hades is not just purgatory, right?
Yeah, they show purgatory.
You got the Elysian Fields. You got like purgatory. You got various. Hades is just a place for the dead. It's not necessarily hell.
Hell, yeah.
Fields of punishment.
Right, the punishment.
Yeah, the Fields of Asphodel.
Let's go back to the story, you guys. Let's talk about Seraphim and his relationship with Hera. Because I found that relationship very interesting. Like she said, hey, I need your help. And he's like, you need my help? Yeah. Zeus, my husband's the reason why you killed your mama. And I've always
First of all, yeah. But
I've always
found out.
Then he found she lied to him the whole entire time. It was a setup. Woman scorned.
The whole time. Convinced you to kill your own mother. And you still continue to work with Hera.
Yep.
Like still.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I don't think she didn't hate him because that's not of Zeus's blood. He's not of Zeus's blood, right? So
No, she didn't hate
it's
him. She
just
hated his
She
mom.
didn't care about him one way
it
or
was
the
just a
other. He was a
tool.
means to an
Yeah,
end.
he was just a tool, and
Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about
I thought that battle that he had in order to get the cauldron with the whatever the big mechanical thing that was guarding it.
Yeah.
That was pretty anticlimactic. I was kind of
Talos.
disappointed in that.
They called it
Halos?
Talos.
Yeah, they call it
Talos.
Talos,
yeah.
that's right. I don't know. I was expecting more. Okay, here's one more thing. Here's another problem I had with Seraphim. I'm like, you get 2 dope weapons, like 2 the whole time. I thought you would have shared that at some point in time with Heron. You know, at least the sword, or at least pass up the big sphere that he has. Because both
He had
of
to
them.
buy it and he had the sword.
Yeah, but here's
Yeah,
the thing.
the
Heron
entire
threw the sword
series.
away. Heron threw the sword away.
Heron threw the sword away. He threw.
When he did that, that turned me off against him. I was like, this motherfucker
Me too.
right here.
I was like, you an idiot.
You got the
don't have
gift,
to
right?
like him.
Yeah,
But he
right. But you
gave
ain't
you
gonna
an
turn the
amazing
sword
sword.
away. Come on, man.
He better shoot. He better shoot arrows.
It don't
better have
matter,
his
but
gun.
you
But
can
at
do
that
both.
point, that fool was still barefoot. So, I mean, that fool was barefoot for 6
Hey, he had
episodes.
hobbit feet.
And there were
Leave him
only
alone.
8.
They done leathered up by the time he became an adult. They done leathered up him walking on stones and getting beat up all the time as a demigod. Yeah, he got beat up a lot as a demigod.
As a
too.
demigod, like, yeah,
lot.
like what was special about him? What kicked in to make him?
He could shoot them arrows.
Right, but why did he get like when most demigods exhibit great strength and power as like young people and shit like that? So they like, yeah, this motherfucker is special right here. But like Heron just got his ass kicked all the time. There was nothing unique.
Like,
He never learned or
He never-
anything. He was just like so ineffective.
And
was
he
just
never had
angry.
anything to like really, even the fact that he didn't even really necessarily heal, or the fact that he was like getting injured all the time. Like, these are regular human kids, regular human dudes, and you getting beat up?
That's what I said.
Sword?
Yeah,
He should have
got beat up by
mistakenly
the kid.
killed one of them. Like when he fought the first, when he punched him, he should have killed it. One of them should have died. And they were like, oh, damn, we can't mess with this dude. And that message gets spread around the village and everything. But like he could do nothing. They shamed him. They were
Until
always
the
talking
end.
about
They
that
shamed
family.
him.
They
They always
blamed him.
shamed that
It was like,
family.
it
Yeah.
got dark as soon as you all came around here. He's like, oh,
Yeah, I was like, Heron should have kicked all their asses.
Right.
He was like, we're gonna stab your mom and make sure it's not her fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, man.
I think I definitely like Seraphim more than Heron, because truth be told,
I
the
did.
only thing that really stopped Seraphim, it took Zeus messing it up every single time, be it from, or it took another god to kind of get Seraphim off
When
track.
Seraphim went onto the boats to handle business, he was like, look,
He was about to give
Yeah.
Heron
I'm about to give y'all that work. I'm about to get
Yes.
everybody on here to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
And Zeus got
but it
all
also,
protective.
but
Start
Zeus
throwing
flexed.
lightning
He flexed in a way that we had
Yeah.
never seen before. When he threw like them 8 lightning bolts all at the same time, and all you seen was just the ocean exploding. I was like, he's
Yeah.
shining again because he's the realest dude on the show.
And when he did it, when he was throwing them, he was smiling. Like they showed that smile, like, yeah, I've been itching to do this for a long time. Gloves are off. We got Hera involved here. Hera's all up in this. That means I can come in this.
That's exactly what it was. Because the whole time, all the gods were like, no, you said you're going to stand down. You're going to stand down. Meanwhile, Hera's backing the side, like, directing the cloak to like fly to where the mama is. So she gets like X'd out.
Yep.
And then Zeus is like, oh, so it's going to be like that? Was she up in the mix? Let me go ahead and get up in here too. That was a really cool scene. That was a really cool scene to see Zeus, just to see the awe of him. But I was a little bit frustrated by the time, he brought Heron to Olympus to train this fool. Legit. And he up there having a temper tantrum, fighting with one little Greek machine man that Hephaestus has created. And before he has his Luke Skywalker moment, like, I gotta go, I gotta bounce, my friend's in trouble. So then you see Zeus over here trying to have like this heart-to-heart comment with like, oh, his son, like, I didn't have a daddy, but I'm doing my best, basically, and then gonna roll out.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be a deadbeat. I was deadbeat to 5 other kids I don't claim.
It's
Exactly.
kind of out of pocket for bringing Heron to Mount Olympus
To-
and not telling
to
Mount
Heron. I
Olympus.
thought, yeah,
And
I thought that.
And then
No, go
let
ahead, go
him
ahead.
bring all his human friends.
Right, yeah. I thought that was kind of.
Friends killed by the pool.
And then he gave him a creature that was kind of cool. So you went and bought him a car and bought him up to Mount Olympus and didn't tell nobody, man.
You could gave him a griffin. You done went all out.
Yeah, like,
dad, you guys. He bought him.
You know what? Zeus was a good
brought him
dad,
to the-
actually.
Brought him to the mansion.
He should have told his wife, though, man. You can't bring your stepkid and don't tell the wife. Oh, man, come on.
I'm bringing my stepchild that you hate the most.
Hey,
up
man,
to the crib.
even if she don't like it, he got to give him a words up. She
didn't give
feeling
him
all
no-
embarrassed. She coming out like, no, this motherfucker didn't.
Exactly.
She put him up in my
Exactly.
house. No, he
She's
did.
like,
Without
You got me
telling me
all the way
nothing.
confused.
She took off all her jewelry. She was like, "Oh, this is
Right.
She did. She was
You got me out
mad.
here up in there looking
You
like
know,
I'm basic.
Athena and them were looking
You
at her
wasn't
like,
basic to you?
you serious?
Right. They like, you gonna let him just bring him up in here like
Yeah,
that? You
they was
ain't gonna
like,
say nothing.
damn, girl, you just gonna let that happen?
Right. Wow, man.
Oh,
Okay.
he eating
Just
your
like,
food
you
too.
can't
Ugh.
Aphrodite, the goddess of love, was like, "Uh-oh."
Right.
Yeah. The Dionysus was like, oh shit.
Like, mom, really? That's what we doing now? Anybody can come to Olympus?
Yo, let's
Right.
be honest.
My man got his feet kicked up on your dinner table. Good Lord, you gonna let this happen?
Yeah.
What?
He's in your backyard practicing to become a strong warrior.
Queen.
Yeah, man.
What's up with that?
That's why I'm
Queen?
not mad at her for snapping. I'm
That's
not
like if
mad at her.
Jay-Z brought a stray baby up into Beyonce's house. We know that's not going down.
Right.
Not gonna
Right.
happen.
Yeah.
We know Jay-Z
You got,
can't bring no
you
straight-
got this random person in here eating up Blue Ivy's goldfish?
Right.
It's not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
man. And he
It's
didn't
not
tell
gonna
it.
happen.
That was my part. I was like, that's on Zeus. You out of pocket for that.
Yo, hey, but you know what? But Zeus' brother, what's his name?
Poseidon?
Neptune. No, Poseidon. Yeah, my
Poseidon,
bad.
yeah.
Poseidon. Even Poseidon was like, that's even low for you, fam. He was like, listen,
yeah.
you know your girl crazy. I know your girl crazy. You know your girl crazy. Why would you
Brought
cross
the
her?
stray baby up in here.
Hey, and he even looked back over his shoulder like, you stupid ass. now we all in danger. All of
You
us.
know she act just like mama. Like, you know she act just like her mama. She crazy. Why you?
You messing with her. You know how you gonna get her started. Oh man, I love her.
Yeah.
Her was great.
And he was like, and she was, and how Hera caped up. We done with you. Not I'm done
Right.
with you. All of us are done with you. And we
All
out.
the troops moved out too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They moved to
And-
Poseidon.
and-
They moved from Mount Olympus to the sea.
They moved from Mount Olympus to Hades.
That's Hades. That's right. They went to Hades. That's
It was
right.
to Hades.
But
Hades
the
is
reason
antisocial.
Poseidon, because
Yes,
Poseidon
yeah.
the whole time was like, I'm not trying to get in the
Okay.
middle of this. You stupid. You should have known better. And like,
Shoulda
look up at
known
that
better.
girl in front of her. You should have known better. And then turn around was like, that's on you. So then when Hera
He so
Hera
did. He
flips
was
it,
like,
and she gives the ocean to the monsters, and he like, hold up.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
you done fucked up. You gonna get my home to some fucking monsters? And
Yeah,
I'm
like
supposed
she's
to
like,
stay
hey,
down?
y'all ride with
Okay,
me.
I'm ready.
I give y'all the
Zeus.
ocean.
Zeus, I'm
Yeah.
ready.
And Zeus called him out. He was like, you
Yeah,
don't
gave
give
him the
shit
side
about
eye when he
me.
called him out too.
Yeah. He was like, you care about your precious ocean.
He's like, oh, now you come back.
Now you come back.
after I
Now you
told
on my
not to
side.
I told you not to trust her.
I told you.
Oh man.
I told
oh
you.
man. Oh man. So guys, one thing I didn't like about this anime was the epic music all the time. It was just loud. I'm like,
The
can you cut
sound
the music
design.
down? Can you cut the sound down just a little bit? It was like hee haw. And like I was like, man, somebody just got killed. Calm down. Give me a silent moment. They gave me Gregorian choirs the whole entire time with big string instruments. I was like, yo, their music budget must have been off the chain. I was like, who did this? This is bad sound design. Give me a quiet moment between two people. Like there was never a quiet moment in this whole entire anime.
No, not even when the mom died. Like that was a big moment.
It was like don 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 don. Like whoa.
It was like, no. They were like, we're gonna make this bigger than life. I felt like it was like watching Indiana Jones movie, and Spielberg smoked a lot of weed. He's like, yo, let's go out with the music in this one, son. And they just made it all big the whole entire time with a lot of sounds of clashing in the background. And I was like, wow, this is really bad. So what did y'all think about that? The music, the ambiance?
I think when it comes to those type of effects, be it sound design, Foley, special effects, all of that, if you have to overuse it, it's like you're overcompensating for story. So that's just either the storyteller wasn't creative enough to show visually what needs to be told in the storytelling process on screen, or didn't come up with the words enough. It's just a deficiency and it's a weakness. And I'm sure that wasn't the first choice. More than likely, they probably did it and they played it and it just didn't grab the emotion. The storytelling just wasn't good enough. So they had to overcompensate. And that's why you see this such poor sound design and the themes being just all over the place.
And I'm one that I did like the fact it was an 8-episode series. I'm going through a couple of series that are super long. More. Yeah, I think it was just enough. I think Netflix hit that with this one. Do we expect to see a sequel? We expect to see a season 2.
Like at the very end, because people are probably watching it. Like
they're loving it.
It's not like me and Randy who are like all in on like Greek mythology, looking at like, ooh, zombies and warriors and cool. Meanwhile, I'm over here like Zeus got stabbed in the neck with a regular knife.
Right.
Yeah.
With a regular knife.
First of all, Hera stabbed him. Yo.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, and then he cauterizes his own wound. I'm like,
what was the point then? What was the point of getting stabbed if you can cauterize your own wound? Like, what was the point?
And if you can do that kind of damage to him in the first place, then why didn't you just finish him off? That's my whole thing.
Right.
Hera, you got him. He's on the
Why
ropes.
did you wait this long to do it?
Why did Hera want to destroy all of Olympus and half the earth just to stab that dude? It was like, oh, that was a smoke screen
over some dumb girl who that girl. I was ready for Mama to go when she looked at Zeus and was like, I mean, you don't love me. Like, why would you let this happen to me? If you love me, you will let this happen to me.
I like the mom. I like the mom.
I didn't like the mom either.
No.
The
mom was so needy. She was so needy throughout that whole series.
She was a queen half her life, and she depended on the mom for the other half of her life. She got no life skills.
But all she got was like hard dick and bubble gum. She got nothing out of that relationship with Zeus. She's not Daenerys. Like, I'm thinking like Game of Thrones. Like, since you're gonna take all the tropes in there, give us some Game of Thrones. Like,
she's arrogant. She was basic.
She was arrogant. Because here she is, this human girl, like, oh, I got me a god. You know what I'm saying?
No, she had a king first. She had a king first, and then she got her a god.
No, but she didn't.
And she got nothing out of that.
The king was that was an arranged marriage. She didn't choose him. It's not like she loved that dude. She was legit property. She was property from the beginning. From the point he's like, take your clothes off, and then here comes Zeus, like, oh, I'm here too.
It's better to be a wife of a king than a whore in the field.
And then she decides, like, okay, I'm just gonna stay here in this little town where the sun don't shine and raise my little kid on like peanuts and grapes. And I'm okay. But then she's sitting here like, but why don't you love me? If you love me, you would fix it. You would just take it out your way. Like, what are you doing?
Right. I'm back with Chuck. Like, there's whores in the street really struggling. Like, you literally are a queen. Like, you have it better. You're the 1%. You have it better than 99%.
He may tell you to take your clothes off, but he ain't telling you to take your clothes off in the day.
Right. You can figure something out, but she couldn't figure out anything with a king or the god of the gods.
Oh, poor like, damn, she was useless. And that's my point. Is that like at that point, Zeus is coming around. Old man is legit there Monday through Friday. He may not come Saturday, Sunday, but he's always there Monday through Friday. So you really don't have anything to worry about. So what are you complaining about? Honestly.
Get Zeus to make him cripple or some shit. Like, I mean, you smashing Zeus. You should get something out of it, man. Come on.
I think that's what made Hera even more upset. It's like, you got this weak bitch. That's this. You going crazy over that?
Zeus
like,
couldn't
I
give
got
her
all
anything,
this.
guys. Zeus
And
couldn't give her anything. When has Zeus gave the mamas of all his stray babies anything? She got his attention. She got his attention.
And I don't know why. Like, we never saw the reason that
because he loves her brown eyes.
In her.
He saw her brown eyes and thought she was beautiful. He stared into her eyes. If you watch one of the scenes when he's peeping Tom in her as the eagle, he looks into her eyes and just felt enamored by her. Like, oh my God.
That's my problem. That's my problem.
He saw those pretty brown eyes. Pretty brown eyes.
Some dumb
girl. Whole songs about that. Pretty brown eyes.
She even said, like, he caught my eye. I caught the eye of a god. Like, no, he was a peeping Tom. That's that flowery language, you know, like in the Bible, they be like, she grew into her womanly ways. Like, nah, she just grew up. You know what I'm saying? So
she turned 13.
He caught my eye.
13.
Now that scene was straight out of the Bible when he peeped her in the bath, because that was all Bathsheba and Solomon, right?
It was
David.
I thought it was David. David was Bathsheba. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was just,
so like.
And how y'all not like this? This show had everything you like in pop culture and religion.
It was just too much. It was like they just threw it all together and it didn't create a great plot and a story, right? It got lazy to me. Okay. It got lazy.
So let's finish up the story here. So Seraphim was like, "Yo, fam, we brothers. Let's kill these gods because they made our life horrible. Everything that happened to us that's been bad happened because of the gods." Heron goes, "Nah, man, I'm gonna brood over here and I'm gonna defend my daddy now, even though I threw away the best weapon he ever gave me. Plus, he gave me a Griffin I don't give a shit about."
He got the Bentley and the Rolex, and he's like,
Hera comes down and says, "Seraphim, do your damn job. Go get the cauldron for me so I can call these monsters to destroy everything. Cause fuck this dude. Why? Cause fuck this dude."
Exactly.
Okay.
But like, here's the thing.
They had the
like,
final battle, and so they're battling the gods are now battling against the monsters. Why can't they?
Well, because now Hera has control of the cauldron. Which Seraphim, you know, admittedly, Seraphim really didn't have much of a choice with Hera because every time he saw Hera, she was like kneel before Zod. You know what I'm saying? Like she used her power.
And he did try to flex on her, dude. He tried.
He tried a couple times.
He did try.
And then he was just like, "Nah, forget it. I'm gonna just go ahead and take this L and let her do whatever she gonna do." Because in the end of the day, like I still win. You know, because like all the people that try to hurt me die.
True. The better player gets killed first all the time.
But Seraphim's whole thing, for me, in my opinion, okay, take out the dudes who were the rich men, take out the king, take out the king, your uncle who abused you, threw you 99 feet off the cliff. Okay, I understand that. But why are you trying to turn the whole human race into zombie demons? That part was lost on me.
That was weird.
That was a real loss on me.
That was lost.
The only thing I could think of is that maybe the meat of the monster like corrupts your mind. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that I can think of that can maybe justify, and that's a weak justification. And it's just like
Japanesey guys, Japanese.
Well, okay, so then he knows Hera is responsible for convincing him to kill his own mother. You know, Hera loses control of the cauldron because Heron grabs it out of the air because he figures out that Hera has her crows with the cauldron like floating up in the sky and takes
it was Seraphim to cut her arm off, right? It was Seraphim to cut her arm off.
I was getting there.
Yeah.
But like here's Seraphim. Now he takes control of the cauldron and he uses it to do the exact same thing that Hera was doing. So it's like, was this your mission? Like, is this when did you decide that you needed to kill all the gods? Because you really just wanted to like make all the human zombies. But now you're like, okay, I got this cauldron now.
When he talked to his brother, he was like, "Yo, let's kill the gods." And his brother was like, "No, I'm going to defend my daddy Zeus. And I'm going to fight for him against his wife." Because remember,
but Zeus never turned on Hera. Like, she's getting her ass kicked by these zombies because now Seraphim has turned the giants on her, and they taken out all the gods. They're taking out all of Olympus. And Zeus sacrificed himself to save Hera with like a wink and a smile.
Yeah, he
and
did.
was like, I got you, girl.
I got you, boo.
Because he
How you think
loves
she
her.
felt after that? How y'all think she felt after that?
And she went sploosh because they're both dumb over each other. They're two people that love each other and they're in a bad situation and they hate each other because they love each other.
Because he can control his dick and he's a peeping Tom.
Because she loves him that much. She loves him that much that she ready to ruin the world over him. And he's like, okay, I get you, girl, but you know what? You still my number one. You still number one. I'm gonna save you. I'm not gonna let Rodan eat you.
It's the story of crazy.
It is the story of crazy. How y'all think the other guys felt about all that? How y'all think the other guys felt about that?
Oh God, here we go again. That's what they thought because they've seen this roller coaster before. This isn't their first
rodeo with
next level though. This is
they're dysfunctional. They can use some therapy.
They've always been dysfunctional.
You know, because Ares sat there and beat the hell out of Hermes, and he beat the hell out of
beat the brakes off of Apollo. He beat the brakes off Apollo. He was like, "Come here, pretty boy. I've been waiting to put my hands on you, pretty boy."
Yeah, you know he has, because Ares is all dark and brooding and war, and like this pretty motherfucker walking around with boys and girls, waking up with menages. I'm gonna kick his ass. Like, Daddy, just give me the word. I'm gonna kick his ass.
He been waiting to do that for a long time.
And Zeus like, boy, leave your brother alone, boy. Leave your brother alone.
But wait, who was mad at Hermes walking around like the worst spy ever? Like you don't think Hera obviously knew you were there, fool. How do you not know she? You think because you invisible? Like he's like translucent, rolling around like translucent, like can't nobody see him. She's a god.
Yeah.
She's legitimately a titan.
So she took his gauntlets. What were the gauntlets for?
I guess they made him. I don't even know. Like, because she never went.
They never explained it.
They never
played. It protected her arms. So when she touched the top of the quadrant, it wouldn't hurt her arms or anything. So it made her strong. So when they cut her arms off, you can actually use the arms for the quadrant. Because that's what they show. Because that's why Seraphim recognized if I cut her hands off, I can use her hands. But that was supposed to protect her hands, I guess, apparently. And he was like,
but then when Seraphim died, like when finally like Heron, takes out Seraphim, is willing to sacrifice himself. He gets quiet, like Dad told him, like has a Neo moment. Yeah. Gets quiet and figures out what he needs to do in order to defeat his brother. Because he can't take him. He can't take it. Like he's battling Seraphim like he is a daggone god. He may as well be a god. Like it's like Heron is a demigod, but Seraphim is an actual god. He finally finds a way to use his own sword or his own spear to kill his brother. Then he uses Seraphim's hand in order to control the cauldron.
It wasn't Seraphim's hand, it was Hera's hand.
No, it was Seraphim. He had Seraphim's arm draped it over.
Oh, that's right. He did drape it over the cauldron.
You know what I mean? So what was the point?
Yeah, I don't know.
Cut off Hera's arm because he wanted to.
Yeah. I don't know.
He wanted to.
I don't know. That's some weirdness too.
So we're gonna rate this thing.
Okay, let's get ready to rate.
Whoa, hold on. Before we do one more quick question. So when he does make his final reveal, when Heron kills Seraphim by unleashing his inner Zeus and he electrocutes, did he embody the blood of Zeus and become the new Zeus? Is that what we're supposed to assume now?
He was chilling in Olympus with his homies, and all the other gods were there. Like, what's up, dog? They're giving him dap and stuff. You put up a good battle, bro.
You got the juice now.
All the women, all the female gods were in the pool just chilling, and they had normal people around them. He was like, "What's up?"
Well, that was Zeus's whole thing, as he kept telling from the beginning. He was like, he's different. He's different than all the other demigods. I feel it. And it's like, okay.
That was kind of whack.
It came and it went too fast, and it was just like,
so you said
we like there should have been more with that.
You said we needed more episodes.
It came out of nowhere. I mean, I figured it was coming because they kept saying it was coming. Like he's different. I was waiting for him to pull on some lightning.
He wasn't different at all. Seraphim was the star of this show. It should be.
He was Seraphim. I was rooting for Seraphim.
Me too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I don't know.
Son of Serpent had the better vehicle. He had the better animal. He had the better weapons. I mean, Serpent was my dude.
He was a lot cooler to be around. Just
you know what I'm saying? You know, if that woman wasn't his mama, you know, it was cool way how he killed her. What, you don't want to save her? Okay. Throw the Biden up and stabbed her right in the back. Ah, she just died.
And as bad as his life was, did you ever hear him complain?
Nah,
like he just rolled with the punches and figured out how to surmount any troubles that he had.
Yep.
It's what we would expect from our protagonist, but
he didn't have any Blood of Zeus though. Okay. I think we talked bad about this show enough. Not bad. We talked about this show enough.
We talked about the story.
I have a ton of friends that loved it. They love the animation. They love the music. They love the whole story.
It was fun. It was fun, but I'm just sitting here watching. Like, why am I watching this? What am I watching?
Hold on. Let's. Okay, we're gonna scale it. It's time for us to put a scale on it. Is it a binge out, a full meal, a mini meal, a snack, a nibbler? What is it, guys? What is it?
Well, I'm giving it a nibbler because we haven't officially adopted throw up. I just thought it was too much going on. Like I said it.
You can say throw up if you want to say throw up.
It's some, I'm giving it because it was just like it was every trope. It was like I've said it before. It was every trope that we had in like heroes and mythology and thing, and they didn't do it as an homage. They did it to me because it seemed lazy. The writing wasn't good, and like you all said, I thought the animation was pretty cool. I mean, I enjoyed that part. Animation isn't my thing, but just from a storytelling prowess. And again, I did come with back knowledge, and even having back knowledge, because they warn you in the beginning, you know, most of the stories are oral stories, so you can expect something different, but they just didn't weave it together with everything they were trying to do. We got characters outstanding. We had too many characters because we really don't even resolve what happens with the Amazon or anything like that. The mother goes into Hades and then she disappears. The two friends, like there was like, it was just so much unresolved. And I guess they were setting up maybe for season 2, but I just didn't think they did a competent job of weaving it together. So I'm giving it a nibbler.
Giving it a nibbler, not the throw up.
Well, I'm giving it. Throw up's not official, so
it's not official. But you can give it that if you wanted to.
It's throw up. I don't want to see this again. Okay. Yeah, I'll throw it up. I'll throw it up. I don't want to see season 2.
Okay, throw up. Okay, we gave it a throw up. So okay. What's up, Trey Murphy?
All right, so no, it's all good. I think Randy brought up something that's really important, and that is told from the perspective of an oral story, and like when you play the telephone game, things are gonna get gonna be a little off. I'm nowhere near as adept with the storyline with the Greek mythos as you all are, but I will say this: once it got to like episode 7, and which is almost the very end, I was like, okay, I can stomach it. Okay, it's like it's okay. But the first 1 through 6 was tough. It was tough. I think I remember even letting y'all know. I was like, yo, I don't even understand. And then like the next 30 minutes later, I sent a text to y'all, and I'm like, oh, episode 7. Okay, maybe I can halfway limp through this. I can't give it throw up because I changed my mind and I saw it as like a hood comedy. And then I couldn't get that narrative out of my head, so it became entertaining because I had to substitute. So it's one step above what Randy here, and that would be a
nibbler.
What was that?
Nibbler.
Mini meal.
Mini meal. No, I give it a mini meal. Actually,
it's binge out, full meal, mini meal, snack, and nibbler, and throw up a
snack. Then I give it a snack because like what Randy said, I don't think I'm gonna see it again, man. Unless I just fast forward it just so I can see the hood moments. So that's it. I can only watch this in the spirit of jokes. I can't take it seriously. So that's
if the Wayans brothers got a hold to this, it would be great, man. Like Marlon and Sean and that whole, they would make this great. But other than that,
yeah.
Cortney.
Okay. Well, like I said, like I said, I was super angry with the liberties that were taken with like one of my favorite subject matters, which is Greek mythology. So I hate watched it. Like I hate watched it. And I finished it just like angry, like sitting there angry the whole time, like yelling at the screen, like this fool over here barefoot Barry over here, like trying to like really.
How's that different than Luke Skywalker? He was a moisture farmer.
Like, I mean, no. Luke had on a full outfit. Okay, he even had on shoes. He had
That's
a car.
The culture, though.
You know what
That's
I mean?
The culture.
No. Wait, let me say. So, in terms of the show, I agree with Syntell and that saying that there were the first few episodes when I was so just confused and lost. Like, what is happening? Like, I was trying to figure it out. I mean, I figured out by like episode 2 that Seraphim was his brother, you know, the baby that we didn't know what happened to. So that was upsetting for me that I figured it out a little too early. But I still continued to watch it. I didn't quit. And I didn't finish just because I knew we were going to talk about this in the podcast. I watched it to the end because I needed to know what was going to happen. I needed to know what these people were going to do. Like, where are you going to go from here? You know, I just look, it's so stupid that I had to know, you know? So I definitely would say it's somewhere in between a snack and a mini meal. You know, it's because I watched it to the end. And I feel like if there is a season 2, curiosity is going to kill the cat for at least the first 2 episodes because I need to know where these fools going to go. You know, I'll probably quit if it's extra stupid, but I would watch just to see like what the hell Hera going to do now. You know what I mean? She done lost the arm now. If she was pissed and she had both hands, now she don't have. Now she only got one. So you know, I guess I'm like I said, I'm somewhere in between. I guess I'm a Lunchable.
That's a mini meal.
It's somewhere in between a
snack and a mini meal.
Like,
y'all just be making up stuff like I'm Lunchable.
I like the Lunchable, but the throw up is still the funniest. But Lunchable is right there with it. I'm feeling that.
Okay. Where do I go? Where do I go with this? I learned after the pilot episode, the first 2 episodes, I've learned to appreciate the animation. As an animation lover, I thought the animation was really well done. I know the budget and how Netflix operates on getting anime out to the market. That to me caught my eye and kept me involved. I hated the soundscape. I just wanted quiet moments. Like, can I just absorb this? It was loud. Like I was watching this at 2:00 in the morning. So my neighbors probably hate me because I listen to everything loud naturally. The story, I was like, whatever. You know, I'm like, whatever on the story. Since Trey put that in hood preference, I wish I would have had that at the very beginning because I would have loved this shit. I would have made this a binge out if I'd known that. But for me, I would say it's a snack. It's just a snack. It's like I could have stopped at any time and never resumed it again. Like I could have stopped. I liked some of the animation, but I was like, God, all this exposition. Why is this story dragging? It dragged a lot too. I'm thinking of Blood of Zeus. I want to see nothing but fighting. I want Dragon Ball Z level fights. I just want fights. And guess what? And then they talk a little bit, but they just fight over and over again. I didn't get that. So for me, it's just a snack, maybe a nibbler. I may nibble on it, but I was in something I'm not watching that I would be consistent watching. Season 2 come out, like you, Courtney. I'll probably watch the first 2 episodes. If we're gonna do season 2, which I think I'm gonna force us to do, I hope they do better and I hope the story gets better. But I was not impressed. I had a bad taste in my mouth when they called it anime because I'm expecting a lot of anime tropes, and I didn't get any of that. And I think any diehard anime fan is going to not like this. Any diehard people that understand how anime works and how things are triggered in your brain watching it. Because part of anime is the artistry of how they tell the story. Where they're like, we don't need a lot of money. You know, we'll have the character talk and have his back turned to you. You know, his back turned to you, so you don't ever see his mouth move. We just have a still image of him talking to you. There's a lot of Goku scenes that way, where Goku's talking and his back is turned, but it's just a still image. and there's nothing else going on, but you hear a lot of exposition in his voice. And this thing give me that way. And it kept jumping around the storylines a lot too, which is common in anime, but anime always goes back to that root weird story. And it wasn't weird enough. I thought it was, I think it was more weird. It'd been better.
Here's the thing, like one of the things that the reason that I went the way that I went, like saying like snack, and the reason I kept going, and the reason I would watch the first 2 episodes is I feel like our protagonist never had a clear conclusion to his arc. He wasn't redeemed. Yeah. He didn't learn anything. Yeah. Like he really didn't learn anything. And that was the problem for me. I'm still looking for his realization of his arrogance. You know what I mean? Of course, that's classic Zeus, which he gets from his dad. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like he never really learned to appreciate, number one, what he was given and why, and the lessons that his dad did teach him. That's my problem with this story, is that my main character, the dude I'm supposed to be rooting for, didn't grow. He didn't grow. Yes, he learned to be flexible and learned like what was the right side to fight on and why I can't join my brother. But he didn't grow with the person who he had main storylines with, which was Zeus. And Zeus legit died for like them. Yeah. And that was a problem for me. I need to see this character grow. And that's the reason I watched the first 2 episodes.
We got the growth from the anti-hero, which is Seraphim, who also went to Hades.
Exactly. We got growth in Seraphim. His arc was much better.
Which may be part of season 2 if the critics are right, because people did like Seraphim. I was reading online, people like Seraphim a lot. They're like, wow, he was a cool character.
He was the Killmonger. He was the Killmonger of Black Panther. Like, you can't be mad at him.
Yeah. Well,
I'm fine with a spinoff of him. His Tales Through Hades or anything like that.
Yeah. Or he ends up becoming the big bad to fight Hades. Like, look, all this comes in.
I'm fine with a spinoff of that because we don't need nobody else in that.
Where Seraphim realizes my mother's down here. I was never
just
blessed.
Don't bring back that Amazon girl because she was useless. She was useless.
She was useless.
And you could really have some good stories like Hades being, you have a little Dante's Inferno shit, him going through. You could have a lot of good stories that you can incorporate into that.
He can have I would like to see a relationship with his mom.
Yeah, I like to see him trying to get to his mom. Oh, my mom is down here.
And maybe that's the plot. Yeah,
let me apologize to her for killing her because I didn't know she was my mom, and let me get some of that mom love. And I can see Hiram be the one to stop him. The Hiram be the one trying to stop him. Like, you don't need to talk to her.
And even his adventures is his redemption, right? So he's going through and he's learning. So I would rather see a spinoff of him than go back to that other universe.
Yeah, he's learning. Yeah. So with that, so we have a lot of hopeful ideas. Hopefully Netflix is listening. If they're listening to this, they probably never want us to review anything else from them again.
But hey, we love Castlevania.
Oh, you beat me to it. Oh, you beat me to it. I was just about to say, I was like, a good substitute is Castlevania.
We did. That's true anime, though. Yeah. With that said, I'd like to conclude today's discussion about Blood of Zeus. If y'all haven't watched it, y'all heard our reviews on it. Snack.
Make your own decision.
Throw up. It's at your own discretion. But
enter at your own risk.
If you're into just animation, it by itself, it's a beautiful thing to look at. It's not quite Avatar: The Last Airbender quality, but it's up there. It's pretty up there. The animation houses they had were pretty good. I give them props for that. That concluded. Peace.
Peace, everybody.
Bye.
Out.